we'll see if he's able to go or not.
How much work was Tristan Albano able to get in this week?
Tristan's out for the game. Yeah, Tristan's out.
How much easier or harder does it get to fill out a travel roster the further into a season you go?
When you don't have a very good team, it's a lot easier. If you have a good team, it's a lot harder because as a guy gets banged up, you have other options, so many options, so you want to have, an 11th O lineman or maybe an extra corner. So we've got a lot of good young players that maybe they're in their red shirt years, but this is a game maybe we need them to step up and play in. So I think there were hard decisions this week.
What's some of that about number 6 on their D-line, Kamara? I think he has 5 sacks. He's been pretty disruptive, just the challenge he presents.
Well, they do a tremendous job with their line games and twist games. They've never trailed. So they've had a lead in every game, and they're able to come out and just attack you and rush you. They've got a great defense, great design. He's an excellent edge rusher. He's got speed to power. He can beat you with the inside move. He can take the edge. A lot of those guys who have all that, they can't also take the edge. He can take the edge, and they do a great job with some of their twist 3-man games. Bringing him up and under. So we'll see all of that. So you take 6, you take 41. 99 is one of my favorite players I've seen who came from James Madison with them as an interior 3 technique. Twitchy. The nose is a big, powerful man who can push the pocket. So they have an excellent D-line, excellent pass rush.
How useful was the extra week for a guy like Gunner in particular? Got thrown in the mix midstream and getting some extra time with Donnie maybe to work on some things.
Yeah, I think every day when you're a redshirt freshman left tackle in the Big Ten, that's a challenge in and of itself. And every day you get better. I think you see our goal as a program is to be a team that always improves as the year goes on. And how do you do that? You improve each player. And so having that time, where he's been the starter for 2 weeks, right? So having that time to get extra rushes and really the biggest thing with him has just been working on bowling versus power rush. And I think he can set. He's a big man. He's got long arms. Just working that. So when you're in camp and you're the 3 and you're going against the 3s a lot, or the 2 going against the 2s, but he's now the 1. He's going against James. He's going against Jamari. He's going against MJ. He's going against big, powerful men. So it was good for him.
Indiana's quarterback was in the portal last winter. How much scouting did you guys do on him at that time, and has any of that been helpful now?
Yeah, I won't talk about recruit. I don't know recruiting wise. I mean, Tony has a lot of history against him because they played Ohio U at Syracuse. He's an excellent player in a great system. And I think the biggest thing, they have a lot of weapons around them, right? They have a really good O-line. They have an excellent tight end. They have 2 great backs. They've got about 5 receivers who can make plays. And but I think they just have a good system. Like they know who they are and they know what they do. And he's flourishing in it. And but yeah, Tony played him, so he's got a feel for him.
You mentioned last night, like Kristen goes out there with nutrition like a day ahead, and you've said before, Dr. Elba, I think, scouts all the places in the off season. Could you just speak on like the advanced planning that has to go into the road trip that you guys do to be ready for, to have everything in order?
Yeah, I mean, Dr. Elza spearheads it. Her and Thomas Bowling and Charlie Foley go out. A lot of these towns, like, hey, this is the place you stay. Like when people come here, they stay at the Graduate. Like there's some places that, hey, you can pick a couple different places. Like, hey, do you want to stay in Bloomington? You want to stay in Indianapolis? Or, so they go out, they look at the hotels, they measure everything. Like this week, I'm like, hey, how long from the airport to the hotel? How long from the hotel to the stadium? How long from the stadium back to the airport? And they have all those answers mapped out. They know, everything from TSA to security to food to the airlines to, who's sitting on the plane, where they're sitting, leg room. They do a fantastic job, and everyone handles their area, right? Kristen handles her area, so very grateful to them, and they do all that work. And something goes wrong, and then they scurry to fix it. So we're really blessed to have a great staff.
Jamari Butler, how healthy has he been? And then with that, how much was the bye week valuable for him to get closer to 100%?
Yeah, I mean, Jamari hasn't been healthy. He's been one of those old school gut it out type guys. A lot of guys, when they're not healthy, they just say, hey, I'm not going to play. I don't want to look bad. Jamari's the kind of the vibe of our defense. He's one of the leaders of our defense. So he's battled through and given us what he can give us. And I think he's significantly more healthy this week. The bye, 6 games in the Big Ten. 3 Big Ten games plus an excellent Colorado team. It's a lot of football, and I think the bye was good for him as it was for everybody. But all Indiana had the same bye, so I'm sure they're healthy and invigorated too.
You guys are locked in on the game and the process, but what would it mean to the program to be able to move on from the bowl drought and beating a top 25 team?
I'm only focused on the game. I answered that question last year and never got there, so I'm just going to focus on the football and make sure our guys are locked in. That they're all in on everything that we're asking them to do, and it's been a great week. So to me, it's just about us playing well versus a great team.
Your team coming off a bye week and this being big noon kickoff game, an undefeated opponent, what's your message to the guys before you take the field on Saturday?
What I just said, focus on us. We can't control the other team. It's the same message I said at UNI, the same message I said at UTEP, the same message I say every week. The team that plays the best wins. It's not the team with the best roster. It's not the team with the best record. It's not the team who won last week. It's not the team that has the better music in the locker room. Just the team that plays better wins. So have a good week of preparation. Just be in the moment, one snap at a time. Don't worry about the scoreboard, and go play. And what I respect so much about this team that we're facing is, I think they've outscored opponents in the fourth quarter 80-17. That's a team that's, they're one-score ball games that they pull away from because they stay in the moment. But that's because they got that's a veteran team, a bunch of guys who've won a lot of football, and they know what it takes. And so I think our guys have gutted out 2 straight wins. They've had some big moments. They took a tough loss. They learned from that. And so we're just going to focus on us and just go out there and just play.
Anything else for Coach?
All right. Thanks, guys. Great to see you.